and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is the show where we pick a movie every week and discuss it, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the psychological horror film Funny Games. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 1997, Funny Games was directed by Michael Haneke and stars Suzanne Lothar, Ulrich Mu, and Arno Frisch. Sorry if there's any mispronunciation of those names. Two psychotic young men take a mother, father, and son hostage in their vacation cabin and force them to play sadistic games with one another for their own amusement. The film has a 3.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for this movie. We're going to be talking about everything that happens in it and all the kind of major things that do happen because they're quite impactful to the story of the movie. So we don't want to ruin it for you. So if you want to watch it, go ahead and check it out first, then come on back. It's okay. You can pause us. It's fine. But stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what we're watching next week because it's still horror movie because it's still spooky month. Alrighty, Kevin. Well, Funny Games was my pick this week.
Yes.
And,
why did you pick it?
I picked it because I own it and have not seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
But also, like I have literally seen the image of the boy with the hood on his head so much. I also know that there was an American remake by the same director. So the director hated audiences so much that he made it again. I'm just kidding. He doesn't hate the audience. But it is really kind of interesting. So I wanted to see the original first, and then I'll go back and watch the remake because I've heard that it's just as good, in English. So it's got a little bit of different meaning in kind of how we interpret it. But I was really excited to watch this movie, and I actually think that I walked out of it feeling more positive about it than I was expecting. Which, I mean, I was expecting to like it, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. But had you heard of this movie before? Had you ever seen it?
I've had heard of this movie. I don't know if I heard of the remake or the original first, though, just because I think I remember the remake a little bit better of a poster. But hearing that it was a German film from 1997, I was like, oh, yes, that's Funny Games. They got remade. So I kind of put two and two together to see. Again, like you said, the boy with the pillowcase or whatever it is over his face is everywhere pretty much if you ever look up this movie. And you know what? I'm down for a psychological horror thriller movie. Yeah,
and this movie is very psychological, as we will certainly talk about in a minute here. But let's just go ahead and dive right into it. I mean, it's hard to say that you come out of this movie saying that you enjoy it.
No, you don't enjoy this movie. It's an experience.
It is an experience. It's definitely something. This movie is a giant middle finger to the audience, and specifically in the fact that it is a comment and it's an indictment of how we as the audience expect there to be violence and horrifying things that happen to the people in our movies, right? Or in our TV, in our games, or whatever. It's funny. Kevin and I were talking about the movie a little bit before we did this video, and Kevin was, I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute, but you said I wish there was more action or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's trying to get across, is that you should not be hoping there's more violence.
I know, but it's like it's right there. Like he could do so much more, but he doesn't, and that's what I don't want to say it pisses me off. It's just like not like it could have been better with more violence. Like some movies aren't better with more violence, but it was just like he could have amped it up a little bit more, or he could have made me even care more for the villains as if they show like a flashback of this is how something happened, or made me care. Like, to be honest, I didn't really care for the family as much, unfortunately, because we didn't really get to know them. Like, I remember it's George, and I don't even remember the wife's name, which is horrible.
It is Anna.
So that's what it. doesn't throw me off of the movie, but it just doesn't make me into the movie because I didn't never really knew like a not like a backstory, but like enough to care about them, if that makes sense. I cared more for the
Sure.
villains than anything else in this movie because of how much screen time and how much dialogue we got from them, and how, oh my gosh, how great their performances were in this movie.
Yeah, they're fantastic, and I hear that, and I'm immediately thinking, man, Hanukkah really manipulated you
Yes.
into siding with the killers, and I think that it actually shows this deep level of restraint. Right? They
Hmm.
could have just gone out and killed them,
Yes.
but nothing makes sense in the real world. This movie feels refreshingly realistic and down to earth.
Hmm.
People do this to other people for no reason that we will ever understand.
That's what fucking pisses me off. Is like they did it just to do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, they say in their dialogue that they have like a drug problem, but they never show it. They never tell you what drug they're on. They
And they
never.
already established early in the movie that they're lying.
Yes,
Like they're not telling
exactly.
the truth on anything. They're
No,
literally
and
just doing this because they want to.
yeah, and that's what's even I put in my review. That's what's the scariest part about this is because they are real people doing just things that they want to do, and it's
Yeah.
like that's what makes it a creepy movie in that aspect of it, and just the acting in this movie just gives it a little bit more oomph to it because they have no emotions at all in this entire film. I feel like
Well, there's
the
moments where like
villains.
they'll laugh or whatever, and I will say that like
Hmm.
Frisch, who is the brunette uh, killer,
Is it Tubby? He calls him
no,
Tubby all the time.
Paul.
Oh, Paul.
Tubby is Peter. Paul is the
Peter.
skinny guy.
Yes.
He when Paul is shot, he
Oh,
lets
we'll
some
go to.
emotion out.
Yeah, we'll go.
But
I'll
I'm saying
talk
like
about
there
that.
is some
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah.
But their performance is so good. Also, Suzanne Lothar, who plays the mother, like sure, maybe the film doesn't do enough to make you
Hmm.
care, but her performance
Oh, her
is
performance is fantastic.
heartbreaking, man. Like
Oh.
that silent just acceptance of everything is like and the part when she's forced to strip, which I mean, good for showing restraint too, for not showing her naked. They just like
Yes.
it's head up, which I think is really well done.
Hmm.
Like that is just is scary to watch because she's just like resigned to it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Everyone in this movie is good. I mean, the core five, like the family and the two killers. There's no one else in this movie that's really in it for too long,
Hmm.
to really note anything.
No.
But yeah, they're like, there's despair. They're like the killers are just so evil.
They
Like
are.
because
And.
it's the same reason why when we went and saw The Zone of Interest, it's
Hmm.
why that movie was scary because these are just people who are just acting like it's normal. It's
Yes.
the banality of it, right? Just like,
Hmm.
no, this is just every other day. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna bet, like we're gonna
Yeah.
bet that you'll be alive at the end of it. Like it's just so, it's just so creepy, and that's what I
It's
really loved about it.
unsettling. It's
Yeah.
unsettling because some people do think like this and do this
Hmm.
unfortunately. But I wanted to go back to Anna's performance in this movie. I
Hmm.
love the performance when spoiler alert, her son is shot and the husband is shot, and it takes her so long to turn off the TV and then have her sit there and wait a little bit just to bring it all in. And then she says to herself, I'm gonna butcher it. I think she says like, well, this is what it is, or something like that. And then gets up and starts to move towards the kitchen to get everything. And then her husband wakes up, which was a surprise to me. I was like, oh my gosh, he's still alive, which was
Hmm.
good in an aspect. But I'm like, oh, so she literally was like, okay, my life is pretty much over, and that's what I heard in her voice when she said those words.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
And I want to talk about that long take. That
Yes.
shot was like 15 minutes,
Hmm.
and it was like objectively nothing happens.
But
Like
it's heartbreaking.
it is a heartbreaking, incredibly like daringly realistic kind of like there's nothing you can do.
Mm-mm.
Your kid's head's gone. Like you can't bring him back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're not Paul, which we'll talk about in a minute. But like it was really just so heartbreaking, and it's so well done, and I'm glad that it was all done in one take, and because those actors were just performing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead. Let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's talk about the fourth wall breaking in this movie.
It took me out of the movie.
Interesting.
I did not like that because you are so invested into this movie about how sometimes these have consequences and they haven't found that consequence yet, because I guess maybe they didn't find a gun in the last house or anything like that, and so they find a gun, and the rewinding of this to make him alive again, I would have liked to see consequences in this performance, or in this movie, because there has to be consequences of what they are doing, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Mhm.
I'm on the complete opposite. I think it was such a masterful thing to do because
Really. Hmm.
because by watching everything that's going on,
Hmm.
you are a participant as much as anyone else.
Okay.
You are a part of this by watching all this happen. Obviously, you can't do anything because it's a movie, but the killer knows that. Paul knows that.
Hmm.
He's like, "Oh, you're probably rooting for the family," because that's what you would do in any other movie.
Yes, yes, because that's what you would do. Hmm.
But like you said though, you ended up sympathizing with them more. So it's
Yes.
like it's great. And then I think the rewind part though, um, sure, I understand like the notion like there has to be consequences, right? They did something wrong, something has to be done, and for justice sake. That's not how reality works all the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like there are so many people that get away with murder and all these other
Yeah.
crimes, and it feels like people in power are not under the same restraints as the rest of us. By
Hmm.
literally reversing the film, Paul does the same exact thing that people in power do in our society. He is in
Okay.
control. It goes his way. And it's not
Hmm.
about, it's not about you. Michael Haneke, who directed this movie, is not giving you what you want.
And he's doing a great job at that. And
Exactly.
and
That's
what
why I said
pisses
this
me
movie
off.
is a middle finger to you.
Yes.
Specifically, this movie is really unsettling for a lot of, or not unsettling, but I would say angering for people who watch a lot of
Hmm.
horror movies and are like, they like getting the kills and like, because it's directly not mocking you, but it's putting you on blast. Like,
Hmm.
why do you enjoy this? And I love that part of this movie. And I think that the
Hmm.
fourth wall breaking, sure, he's a little pompous, and when he turns, looks me in the eyes, he's like, "You're probably rooting for them." It's like, I don't know. I'm just here to enjoy the movie. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I really liked it. I think it's something that
Okay.
I think that the rewinding sure is a little out there. Um,
Hmm. It was
but
just so out of left field, I feel like. That's why it caught me off guard and maybe took me out of the movie. Again, it
sure,
taking me out of the movie takes me out of the movie for that rewind, and then I'm back in it. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I couldn't finish the rest of the movie or anything like that. But it was just so out of left field. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, kind
mhm,
of a situation.
yeah.
So,
But if you think about it, some of the people that are watching a movie like this, you know, some of the people just want to see more carnage and
hmm.
more emotional devastation. These people are not real to them. So
Yeah,
it's
okay.
okay that this family gets taken out. And so
Hmm.
if you were given the remote and able to do that same thing, a lot of people would, subconsciously or unconsciously, whatever.
Hmm.
So again, it feels like an indictment of us and our kind of expectation of what we expect violence to be in film and media and things like that. And I
Hmm.
think I think it's really smart.
It is. It was just unexpected. Yeah,
Sure.
unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Which,
kind of have to do things
which
to
is
help make your film stand out too. So
which is not bad. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. It was just so unexpected when watching this
yeah,
movie because I had no idea that was going to happen.
just comes
But
out of nowhere.
I did, yes, and I loved actually the ending of this movie as well. How eerie he just looks into the camera, and that I don't know what kind of song that is at the end of that, but it is annoying as hell. But it looks
Yeah.
like his anthem.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like I'm a metalhead. I like hardcore music. I mean, you like some stuff, that's in that genre as well. So it's like that's the kind of music that I think people think they think metal sounds like.
Yes.
But no, it's supposed to set you off guard. It's
Yeah.
supposed to unsettle you, which is what it does perfectly. I don't like the song, but it does unsettle you, and that's the whole purpose of it. Now, I do want to point something out that I really was surprised by, and in hindsight, I shouldn't have been. Very early on in this movie, there's a part where George, the son, takes the knife down to the boat, and
Yes.
then you see the knife, and it kind of falls into the boat, and that's specifically set up for you to be like, "There's a knife on the boat."
I totally forgot about the knife, though, to
And
be
I
perfectly honest.
love that when they go onto the boat with Anna, and she's starting to cut it, and you're like, "Oh shit, is she gonna get free?" And then they just take the knife away and dump it over the side, and then later they just flip her over so she can drown. It was like the final rug pull out from underneath, and I love. I mean, I don't like seeing people die, but like I love that it was just like, no, we got to go to the next house. Just go ahead and get rid of her.
Yeah, you think you're gonna be the hero of this movie? Nah,
No.
You're done.
There's no heroes in real life, And then literally they just go to that next house. It is crazy. And looking back on it in the beginning too, because there's the family that they're there to see, and Paul and Peter are already there. They're already under the control of these guys.
Yes.
Which is horrifying to think of.
Which is so funny though, because the Anna says, they're acting very strange. But they never go back onto that until it's too late, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a very different movie. Really, I really enjoyed this movie. Alrighty, so Funny Games is my pick this week, so I'll go ahead and give my review first. I think this movie is a masterful piece of horror that is also unrelenting in how it manipulates and twists you as an audience member. You are a participant in this movie. You are a voyeur. You are someone who is intaking this movie as someone in the real world would. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to see the things that happen in this movie, and director Michael Haneke knows this all too well and uses it to his advantage. I really like this movie. I gave it a 94 out of 100. It's the best movie I've seen this spooky month so far. It's at the top of my list, so gets 4.5 stars out of 5. 94 is what I gave it.
Nice, very good. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie as well. It's going to be a lower number than Garrett's, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean it's bad at any point in this movie, because obviously we talked about all these great things of this movie. It was very interesting how you kind of side with the villains in this movie and how eerie they are, of just being regular people and just wanting to be just doing what they want to do, and which makes it so much more creepier, because this could be anybody. Paul can be anybody, or anything like that. So I really enjoyed the villains in this movie. Anna's performance in this movie was fantastic as well. So this movie is great with acting, and we didn't really talk about, but the scenery in this movie, it really takes place in one part of the house, but afterwards, once you get outside, or when she's in the dark trying to find a way out or anything like that, it's absolutely beautiful, especially when they're on the boat as well. So I gave this a 79 out of 100, which accumulates to 3.5 stars out of 5, but still very good movie.
Well, there you go. That is going to be it for this week's episode of Movie Club. Question now falls to you. What do you think of Funny Games? We'd love to hear in the comment section down below. Just remember to be respectful of one another, because, Kevin and I are the Peter and Paul of Real Watchers, so maybe we won't like it. I'm just kidding. Next week, we'll be continuing our coverage of Spooky Month, though. We're going to be taking a look at the sci-fi horror movie The Mist, which excited to talk about that one. So make sure to watch it before next week so you're not spoiled. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, we have this show that goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have our weekly live stream that goes live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you so much for joining us. And of course, until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.